One love, one aim, one destiny. I'm doing this video because I want to keep my promise. Hold on a second. Let me introduce you to someone. Blamo Banana. Yeah, Blamo. Blamo is very old. Blamo is more than 26 years old, so he has glaucoma. See, one of his eye is messed up. But the reason why I'm introducing you to Blamo Banana is because this is how I taught my children about the power of eating fruit. And Blamo is pretty old. And he's an old banana. But he's still sweet. And he's full of potassium. While I was out at Mom's Organic Market, there was a young girl. And I promised her that I would give her my power fruits because I'm cleansing house now. And so much children into, phones and tablets, they don't want Blamo. But Blamo has friends. Blamo also has power prune. See, the P is for power prune. She has a cape. That's what I was showing you the back. See? That's power prune. That's her cape. And so she talks all about how she keeps the body healthy because she's full of fiber as well as iron. So that's power prune. And see, she have a pretty little bow in the back of her hair. Now, who else should I introduce you to? Well, all of these are power fruits, and that's why they have capes on. See? And this is awesome apple. Awesome apple. Yes, see? Full of fiber and always happy because he is so nutrient dense and he loves children. And also, of course, he's red and green. So those same chakras are what he just nurtures. And he's so happy to do so. And he's powerful. So these are the things that I used to share with my children growing up. And it's time that someone else gets them. And look, Shakespeare, Shakespeare doesn't have a cape. Shakespeare just have on his glasses and he likes to verbalize everything that he does. So that's also Shakespeare. And there are a whole lot of power fruits. And here, see? That's right here is outrageous orange. Whoops! Ooh, outrageous orange just flew right out of my hand. Well, that's okay. See? Outrageous orange, full of vitamin C. Crazy vitamin C orange just have. So, these are some of the power fruits. And oh, for what? Orange. And of course, orange is full of vitamin C and it helps you to detoxify the liver. So that's why it's outrageous. So all of these are just so wonderful. It just so happens that, well, see, he now just starting to lose the eyesight though. He getting old, but they're buddies. They're actually twins. See? So what happens to one was happening to the other. But in truth, it's just that they've been getting washed all the time to stay clean. And not only is that just about the power fruits, but they're actually called, see? Whoops. Heroes. See? They're actually Nutra Heroes. That was the name of the book. Nutrafruit Heroes. And inside that Nutrafruit book, well, you could do all kind of activities with your children. See? There you go. you can make a mobile. You take them out and you make a mobile that goes in your kitchen and it swings on the light or whatever. Plenty activities. See? And it's an activity book. See? I kept all of this, and I actually never let the children write in it. I used to just take out a page and then Xerox it and let them just play in it. But of course, with my son Massa, the real tricky one, he didn't even let me know he knew how to read at 2 years old. He was tricky. He'd get a hold of this book and he would just start to mark it in it. And I caught him one time, well, maybe two, well, maybe more than that, because he really did like this book. But he was the one, that son of mine, the last one, that's 24. Well, I would love to break out his psychoeducational evaluation that I took him to Temple University to have evaluated, because he's so brilliant. But he didn't let anybody know that he really knew how to read. And that was very interesting, because by the time that he was 4 years old, well, he snuck in the computer of his older brother, and that time his brother was in high school, and he messed around there and changed the report. But my son wanted to know, well, who did that? Because it wasn't me, and it wasn't his sister, who's only a year younger. So we're thinking, what happened? Well, turns out it was little Massa. He just didn't let anybody know that he knew what he knew. And still today, he's the same old way. So if he's around, he act like he's not listening. But he listening, he paying attention. So this was how I started my children out, knowing all about fruit, and of course, vegetables and sea moss. And I taught them hands-on, homeschool, so they call it. But it's not homeschool. It's just called being a mother, because mothers are your first teachers, and that's what it is. It's teaching. And they like to say, oh, your child is so smart. Did you homeschool your child? Now it's a thing, homeschooling. That's where school always is. School is always home. You learn from what goes on in the queendom. Mother is the teacher. When you go out in nature, you see your nature. And I love to have my children out in nature. Even now, they're supposed to know how to grow at least some squash and zucchini to save their life. I still have, when we used to be able to have camera and develop the film, and you can see, back in what you were doing. I have my children out in the yard, and they was growing echinacea and zucchini and squash and ginseng and ginger, all of these things, right in the back of my office area where I would have clients come, where I would do iridology. So they're supposed to know if they retain it, because that's another thing. I take you out in nature, I show you, because everybody is not auditory. Some are kinesthetic and some are visual. You have to know what type of person you are, and if you have youth, you have to know how they learn. Everyone doesn't learn the same way. You have to know your child's energy. This is what time it is today, because we have to learn a new way, and we have to give our youth not the truth, the proof, because that is what I always told my youth growing up. When they would tell me something, oh, I finished my work, prove it. That was it. No, nothing else. Prove it. If they said something to me that they were going to do, it always was, prove it in my house. I need proof. It's just like a science lab. Proof. That's how I run everything. I need proof. Are you going to do that? What's the proof? Where is it? And so I actually even talked to my beautiful oldest granddaughter today, and she's 18. And she had some things that she wasn't saying and some things that she was saying. But I know that her challenge is speaking up where it needs to be in the world. Oh, she can speak up for herself most time, but she keeps things pretty much inside. What I want to let her know today was your energy, darling. All is energy. And when you eat certain foods, you become those. Your body is not you. Your body is what you are absolutely taking in. Your thoughts and your food, and the food have thoughts too. So that's why you have to be careful what you eat, and you have to be careful what you are giving your youth. You're responsible for them. They don't have a check to cash at the end of the week, and hopefully they won't, because you are the so-called adult, and you should be minding your business so that your youth have a business. Because I didn't learn these things, so I'm struggling now to give it to the youth that are around me, not to make them the same mistakes. Because one thing that you always taught is that, and I hear this too often, they have to learn the hard way. What? No. See, when you are told you have to learn the hard way, your whole life becomes just like that. Hard. Because you were taught you have to learn the hard way. There is no other way. It's the hard way. So that is what I was taught. And now that I'm older, I see through the crap. And it has to be reversed. And so not only were you told that, is that, oh, they have to learn on their own. Well, what's the sense in having parents and coming through those that are older than you? Is because they're not just parents, they're supposed to be your guru and your guide and your guardian, not your overseer. So what it is that we only have a certain amount of time on life. So if the child is just going through bumps and bruises and scrapes and getting, wounds, it may get hurt badly and never recover, or keep falling and waste life, as so many of us have, because we didn't have a guide or a proper guide, so that we didn't waste time. That is the purpose of having a guru that can dispel the darkness so that you can walk in the light and see. This is what I was so happy for when I said to the young people, you don't want a mindset. You want your mind movement. See, when your mind is set, it can't see. It's set. It sets right there. It's stagnant. So you want a movement. That's what you want. You want movement. And now it will be like the song the OJs used to sing. Ain't no stopping us now. See, we're on the move. And that's what we have to get. We got to get on the move. We got to get on the groove. It's time. It's that time. There has been so many things that try to hold us down. And it finally looks like we're finally coming around. Listen to that song. Ain't no stopping us now, and play that song. We're on the move. Our children are not going to recycle and revolve. They're going to evolve and involve. They're going to evolve to super conscious and knowing their culture. They're going to get out of this bacteria-filled Peachtree dish, and they're going to not just survive, they're going to understand how to thrive. And then we can start talking about we shall overcome today. Not someday, because Martin Luther King said someday. He didn't know what day that was. So now our youth can say, we did overcome today. And that's the way that I'm pushing it. So hopefully that this message will be not taken out of context, and that this English language that I'm attempting to speak, because it might be broken English or whatever, but I'm doing my best. And I want others to join me. Don't just complain about how I did it or how I look, because that doesn't matter. It's the message that I'm making an effort. And that's all that's necessary for anyone to do, is make the effort. Okay? One love. We getting there. One aim. We have that. One destiny, that's already been determined.